Hello everyone! Welcome on in! Hope everyone's doing good today. Hello! Today, we are beating episode 2 of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Technically episode 2 of the Great Ace Attorney Resolve. That's the second game that we're on. And hopefully we find out what's made this trial so weird. So far it's felt fairly normal. I mean, about as normal as Ace Attorney trials go. But what was it that freaked everyone out, and the reason why Chisato had to go back to Japan, and why Sholmes refuses to talk about this case? I'm very excited. So, let's get into it. Twenty-third February, 11:32 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks!
Oh, Mr. Natsume, I'm so pleased for you.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikotoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my tea is innocent. Oh, hello, Sholmes. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Ah, Herlock Sholmes. May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent. I thought the tea was innocent.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, dropped my phone.
You came. How wonderful.
Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says. Well, when it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that night would be the day, as sleep seduced me last night. I thought, tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not?
Oh, yes.
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why, time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Oh my god, this is profound. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? The most astute thing I've ever heard.
Oh, yes.
Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Hear, hear. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. That's true. I mean, if there was no one to experiment on it, how would we know that it's true? Ah, yes, and one more thing. Do you remember this?
Ah!
Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday.
Oh,
you didn't manage to... It was a laborious task, as the bottle was nearly empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine. Yep, strychnine. So I was right. Perhaps, though, of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. But licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. A bottle found in the possession of Miss Green with traces of the slow-acting poison strychnine inside. Strychnine. Could I have a word? Who is it? Oh, could I have a word? Gregson, how good of you to come. Forget it. Excuse me. Oh, no, come back. You made the music stop, Gregson. Oh, wait a minute, Inspector. I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you'd think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspector, please, speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Do you have the results, Inspector? Of the investigation of Mr. Shamspeare's room?
Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamspeare's room?
A man by the name of... yes, Selden.
I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye.
Something caught your eye? What, Inspector, what?
I copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourselves. Thank you. Scotland Yard's file about the convicted criminal Selden that includes the newspaper article about him dying of illness in prison. The capital offender's file has been entered into the court record. Alright, let's read it then. Investigative findings related to Selden. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder. Wow, it's a lot of counts of suspected murder. Died of natural causes whilst in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmate. Interesting. The estimated £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester Strange Ways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes. In the early hours of this morning, he had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Altered by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Interesting.
These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court records so we don't have duplicate information.
Thanks, Susato. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? Well, I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's workings are so wonderful.
Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. I love how there's always like a dramatic sting effect every time the bailiff speaks. And the music gets 1,000 times more intense. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in floods of tears personally, so the best of luck to you. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsme? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is gonna be the final battle. I won't really have saved Sasuke-san, until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Rinnosuke. You have to. 23rd February, 12:30 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you! Was that really for that backhanded consideration? I was gonna say, was that really worthy of a thank you? A rather cold assessment from the honorable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zeeks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord. Very well. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court, please. William Shakespeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can only say that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words.
I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. No, not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose. She makes me so sad.
Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. Mr. Shakespeare.
My lord, I am thy humble servant.
I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. Oops. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you.
I would, for naught else, my lord.
And Miss Green.
Yes.
You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume?
Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And? Do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning.
Okay, can we object to that?
And I don't know anything about this man.
Oh, come, lady. Die to live. Verily I know not thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. Very well. Let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange. Very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by that neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital fighting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrideb household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion? What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shakespeare's lodgings is the Briar Road incident of 6 days ago. That's why We would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh, no. The incident 6 days ago. You really want me to relive that awful incident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we'll be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspear. Yeah? But what happened 6 days ago is nothing to do with me being poisoned. I'm sure it's not. Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. The evening of 17th February.
It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along in the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakst, for I had bespoke my supper. The tavern? Wasn't she supposed to be going to the tavern? Isn't that what she told us before? That she was meeting someone off at the tavern?
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspear. 'Twas the following morn when I did awaken that I learned of the dire events. Marry, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine. When Sasuke's son was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. As suspected, there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's that this pose is so funny because he's not touching his face at all. He's just kind of hovering his fingers there. It's true. It does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. The evening of 17th February.
6 days ago, about 5 p.m., I was walking along in the snow when suddenly I was stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house, where the men in this case had their lodgings. Right, let's talk about that. I love Shamspear, he's the worst. What were you doing there that day, though? What do you mean?
The art school you attend, what's it called?
Yes. It's the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of on the underground.
I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, oh yes, of course. I thought it might make a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. City-dwelling artists can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of that part of the town. Perhaps quaint would have been a less grating term.
The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes, it seems she's not going to be forthcoming with the truth.
She's trying to hide what she was there that evening. It must mean there's a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to this. And you, Mr. Shamspear, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago? Would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? It would be my pleasure, sire. I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I've been in the area. I had a little matter to attend to, that's all.
What's the... Oh, there we go. Yeah. What were you attending to? What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing, really. It's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital. It was related to the card you were holding. Oh! She was holding a card! That's right, yeah. Miss Green. And she, like, stuck it back in, like, an envelope or something. What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
What does that matter?
Oh,
This has nothing to do with Duncan.
are you sure? You sure about that?
Excuse me.
Ooh, nice slam, Randolph. Mr. Shamspear, do you have something to share with the court? No, I didn't just make a noise. To be or not to be, that is the question. Oh, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it was so, but sadly nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. And that's why you had a picture of him in your room? So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours? Miss Green.
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before, containing the note, do you have it upon your person? Oh! Wait! The envelope's torn! Of course.
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. A note in an envelope that seemed to have been ripped open rather roughly. It contains instructions to meet with someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. Of course. That's what links Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green. The envelope has been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes me as the type to open correspondence more neatly than that. What is it? Oh,
What is it?
the way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen the exact same shape somewhere else.
Oh, you don't mean... Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Exactly, that's it. Try to match them up.
They go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs with this card.
Oh, perfect. I didn't know if that was actually going to accomplish anything. I just wanted to see if I could read the note again. The envelope fits perfectly with the torn off piece found at the scene of the crime. Yep. It fits perfectly with an envelope in Miss Green's possession. It's Duncan Ross. Now, continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Okay.
Anyway, I was admitted straight to hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Okay, let's go back. Him saying he was at the tavern. We haven't pressed this yet, but I did want to press this. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End. And a little unexpected, I feel. What do you mean, Lord Van Zeeks? The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining. For the locality, at least. Not an establishment you expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness.
I would have expected Grub's Grubbery in the local vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea-like mush. All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be?
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation. A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. The fact that on that day of all days he dined at a place he wouldn't normally, it does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own actions on the day of the incident 6 days ago were slightly suspicious. I wonder if we have some evidence that can explain those actions. Is it the envelope we just learned about? Mr. Shamspeare? Yes, sire. On the day in question, is it not the case you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize? For a very particular reason? I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakest. Very well. I'll present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day. Namely...
Take that!
Is this it? Yes, okay. I got nervous because the music was slow. I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord. Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads... I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Yeah. Mr. Shamspeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamspeare?
Well... Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Very well, then. You may amend your testimony to include details about that particular note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. It's nothing to do with the odd man next to me here.
Then why was this in his room? The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is. Ooh.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspear's room. Oh, in my room? Mr. Shamspear, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well...
Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. And that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspear. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
What did I do?
As this torn-off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspear's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
There is only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspear's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? You broke, I mean, thou were in my room. He's so shocked that he's breaking character. What on earth do you want with me? I think she wants you dead. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green.
Yes.
Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure for the suffering you've endured in recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony in a court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Ooh, get her. Oh.
Yes, I know.
Very well then, witnesses. You will give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. It was a week ago, peradventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day written therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad, yet nobody came. Oh, Undertale reference. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you?
Why would I? To poison him? To poison him?
I can point out the villain here, and as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it.
You now claim to have received this letter, do you, Mr. Shamspear? Faith, 'tis so, my lord, and I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodgings. Yet 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was
a lie. Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist, as I said, and fledgling artists don't lie.
Is that true?
That note was delivered to me at my address, besides. We all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? Yeah, this part of the envelope was without question found.
I don't see why I should explain.
Girl, Sorry?
I'm a fledgling artist. My job here is just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanations and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer. Girl?
The fledgling will do his best. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. Well, counsel? I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shamspeare's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts that are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all of this. And it's not a pretty one. The anomaly of the note. I do remember now. I don't think we need to press anything. I think we just gotta present the poison as an explanation as to why she would be in his room. Because she has the exact poison that he was poisoned with. But just in case. Oops. I will save real quick. Okay. Just in case I'm wrong.
Objection!
But I'm not wrong. I'm never wrong. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents spilled during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to the defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry said, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare. Huh? Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. So she did that days ago, so that poison's been lingering on that for days. He's just staring at her. Can this be? You broke into my room to... It may seem incredible to the court, but from the remaining clues, there's only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life was poison. Was you, Miss Olive Green.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear me.
Order! Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth to the pipe that very evening as expected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, it's a very good point. No, it's not. Because he wouldn't have, because clearly he was putting his mouth on the pipe, like he was like blowing into the pipe to kill Sasuke. But he couldn't have killed him that night because Sasuke was arrested for her, or was he arrested that night? No, he wasn't. He was arrested the next day. Still. He was arrested, and he was gone for a little bit. Perhaps not, my lord. Aw, thanks for being on my side, Van Zeeks. I beg your pardon? There was a significant police presence in the area that evening on account of the— oh, there was police, yes. On account of the incident on Briar Road. Local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at that time. Lord Van Zieks?
And, of course, the following morning, there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address.
More activity? Ah, yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder.
That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell. With the need to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant.
And then, 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right, Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial in which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back, but was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night, his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room some 4 days earlier. Mary! Her box she's standing on. With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan. What plan? The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock. At that, the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at his home in the stated time. To make sure I wasn't home? Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed. You mean to say that letter was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. But why did she keep it so long? Just after she smeared poison over the mouths of the gas pipe in your room. I guess because she was put in hospital, but still. Order, order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Also, if she had the letter on her when she got stabbed, how come that was not present as evidence at all in her stabbing case that we did, the trial where she got stabbed? Like, she had this, like, letter on her that's like, meet me at this tavern at 5 o'clock, and nobody was like, maybe we should talk about this in court. Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me? Miss Green's motive should be obvious. Yeah, it has to do with her mans. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. Lord Van Zieks, it's you. So, that's what's behind all this. You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person is behind this woman's motive for the attack on the victim's life? Duncan Ross, 21, the love of Miss Green's life, who sadly passed away a month ago as a result of gas poisoning.
Take that!
Duncan Ross. That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume, took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garadeb's, somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard that name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago, when the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings. That does ring a bell. Of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such. Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspear blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple.
Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths, that's all people care about. If it's an interesting story they want to know, it doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. Aww. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. Oh, so sad. I don't blame her at all. I think she's justified.
You mean Duncan was... Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé.
Fiancé?
You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shamspear. But she's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy, the murderer who took the life of the man she was to marry.
Mary!
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspear, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel? This is unheard of. Each on different counts of murder? Shouldn't be my job, but I guess. Yes, my lord, that's correct. It's actually the exact opposite of my job.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that's causing his judgment to be clouded. What? You were just agreeing with me. You were just agreeing with me 5 minutes ago. Why would Mr. Shamspear have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? Oh, this is where we present that criminal's file stuff, because I bet he was looking for, like, whatever the treasure was, or whatever. The stash. You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, oh lies, I deny every utterance. And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green.
I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
Objection!
But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do it to smear poison on the pipe, well, what was your reason?
I thought I'd have a look around, that's all.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all. I'm sorry.
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life. Oh, vileness, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh rotundity of a woman. But in any case, whene'er I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock. That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire. Pfft. Oh, awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman.
We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion. But for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed.
Well, I spotted the note I'd sent him lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it I discovered a secret hiding place.
Yes, we also discovered that hiding place.
Inside, we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. That's right, the tin box. What was in that? Oh, yes, well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
What? There was something in it?
Yes. This rather nice key.
Uh-huh. Ah! Oh my god. What are you doing with that? What the?
Every ounce of color has drained from his face.
Give it here, give it to me now. It's mine, I inherited it. What was that, witness? What did you say? You inherited it? Oh, no, What's all this about? He inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what it's for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care.
Give it back this minute, give it to me. I love Olive being the most petty person. Honestly, it's Olive. She has every right to be. I'm on her side. Calm yourself, witness. So, Mr. Shamspear has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspear. At first. But considering everything we know now, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Everything we've seen and heard. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you say you can explain the... What is it that you say can explain the motivation for Mr. Shamspear's alleged crimes? I think it's this.
Take that!
Yes.
Yay!
That's an official police report, is it not? The Selden file. How did you get a hold of that? Change my my something rotten puns from early musical where hating Shakespeare was a joke to the end, where hating him was more understandable. So Selden. The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant Mr. Natsume have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room. Well, yes, we note this, certainly. A room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries. I see. And it so happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. It's been too long since I've watched it. The sum £1,000 worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found. Yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in this file here. £1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up. And it seems the one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps a key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in. Oh, Shamspear was the cellmate. That makes sense.
You mean this key is...
Mr. Shamspear, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not? What are you talking about? Tis a false charge, I tell you, a false charge. The name of the inmate who was with Selden at his death isn't noted in this file, but a simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is. But even if it's true, why would the man be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings? There's only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that very room that Selden hid his loot. So, it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of Mr. Shamspear's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garadev's lodgings in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mrs. Shamspear subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had beaten him to it. Mr. Soski Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less. So you decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspear? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. You did the conversions, uh-huh. And 180,000 pounds is way more understandable. All for one simple and reason. To get your hands on the 1,000 pounds of loot left behind by the dead convict. You. More specifically, it was 166,797 Great British pounds of loot. Dang. Yeah, that does make a bit more sense. Looks like I'm going to snuff it before they get to stretch the neck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything to stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. I'll see you in L, I guess. Shamspear. It's mine. What did he just say? It's mine. That loot is mine. Oh my god! That was horrifying. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in an Ace Attorney game. What the hell was that? Mr. Shamspear? It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow. Forsooth, I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? Shamspear has the best animations. He really does. If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. Not true. Not true. That's what court's for. You can't arrest me for the time being, anyway. Family, you can't arrest the victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I I'm so close, I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up Carmelo Gusto over here? There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through. You think? You think, Renosuke?
But he seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that however hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruhodo.
There is a way.
Pardon?
There's one way I can finish him.
No.
I did have to look up between streams if you had played that one before making that joke. Yes, I played every Ace Attorney game, so this is my last Ace Attorney game. He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot, which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan. Were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. Next up is Tyrion Cuthbert, then. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule.
If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly.
This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. But I think we might have it in our possession already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find where the loot is hidden.
We do?
We do? Oops. No. Probably not. Maybe I... We do? We have something? No, don't present evidence. I'm not positive. My lord? Yes, counsel? The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance, so it has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it definitely paid off then. Oh! Okay. He means the what's it called? The gun thing. The Sholmes thing that he's got, that we used to find the skin print gun. Very well then, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place at a deceased convict's halls? Do we just present the handprints? Because we don't have the gun as evidence.
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, those are... Yes, okay. Mr. Shamspeare's handprints on the wall of his lodgings. That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene.
Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective, Mr. Sholmes.
A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? It's gotta be Sholmes, right? I should think the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shamspeare. There we go. I knew it. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Look how he just appears. Ah, 'tis Herlock Sholmes himself. What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not? I did the Sholmes pose with him whenever he appears. Amazing. I love the Sholmes pose. Ah, Mr. Reaper, it's been too long. That's right, he was saying he knew him. And I see your complexion has worsened since we last met. Oh my god, I love Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes? He does know Lord Van Zeeks then? Well, enough to say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes, please stop insulting the prosecution's complexion. Though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, the two best characters in the same scene? My god. That does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit.
If I may, my lord. Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us to uncover vital clues in this case already.
Clues, you say? I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities. You need only a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. Oh, the key! In your case, sir, I use the teacup you have been holding. Elementary. We're gonna... because, Olive has the key. So now, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? What am I to use as a sample to make the indicator solution this time? Thank you for offering to help, Mr. Sholmes. When the convict was arrested, he was living in what is now Sasaki-san's room. We need a sample to help locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his old room. What form will the sample take? We don't have the key in evidence, so do we present Olive? She has it. We'll need something of Selden's in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appear to be on the up. So which particular person did you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of the late convict Selden to create the indicator solution?
Take that!
Yes! Nailed it. Genius. Miss Green.
Me? What do you want with me?
The key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry.
That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use. Very true. That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. I bet Olive will be totally unwilling to screw Shamsphere over. And find out exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent. Mr. Shamsphere, as one great to another, I assure you. If the late convict's hall is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes. So, Mr. Shamsphere, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth.
In that case, I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key.
Yeah, Olive. No, give that key to me. The detective shan't have it. It's over, Mr. Shamsphere. No, no. You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt. Whoa. Oh, shameful spear, despair. Be thy name. I knew he was gonna have a great breakdown. I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all. So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods? Yet after you killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room. I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused. Why? I was 3 months behind with the rent for one thing. That'll do it. Mr. Gerdev really has had a lot to put up with. And he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing.
And 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road, when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be. No. The scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day.
And if I remember rightly, Mr. Sholmes spent the whole day in there reading books.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, he once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap.
William Shakespeare. How does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 3, Scene 1.
Well, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer.
You deserve to die for what you've done. I love Olive so much. Oh my god, that was a killer line. She destroyed him. It's so delightful how petty she is. Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died. The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive. The gas supply? Yes, the stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason. That's no joke. They say it's the convict's curse. Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is. Alright then, if it's that important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms in my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight? Aww. No, I'd better not. We'd said we'd wait until we'd graduated before we told our parents, remember?
Oh. Oh.
But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stupid Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road to Grub's Grubbery for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
That place is cursed, I tell you, cursed! The ghost of that convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me. I wake up in the middle of the night for freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked, no problem there. It's like I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking.
But how could that be? Duncan was gone, and now this man had almost suffered the same fate? Could it really be a curse? Then I remembered a rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations.
A rumor? You mean...
Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes.
How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework.
That's when it started. A little flicker of doubt in the back of my mind that just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
A black market?
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them. And you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident? Or was it murder?
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple, but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas pipe you suspected the man of tampering with, and wait. If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would come of what you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay for his crimes dearly.
I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. And then I wrote this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and sell it on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. If he'd done it, I knew that would work. If he'd done it, I knew that would worry him enough, so he'd be sure to go. So I waited to see if it worked.
And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions to the letter.
I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I'd bought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that the devil's work would be done and that the culprit would get his just desserts. Yes!
What an icon. Oh, Sato. "3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward."
Yes, my lord.
"I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find lurking behind the scenes. It has been a long road, my Nipponese friend."
Oh, yes.
"And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you."
Thank you.
"Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green,
Yes, my lord.
you will henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspeare.
Yes, I know.
And you, Mr. Shamspeare, you will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent murder of Mr. Soski Natsume here present. Mm.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes?
Yesterday, at the hospital, when you and your friends stopped me from...
From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle?
I wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my head. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad of your being here, Miss Green. Aww.
Oh.
Aww. And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspear didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least. Aww. Aww.
Because of you, I chose life, not death.
Aww.
And now you've made the truth come out at last. Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Aww. Mr. Sasuke Natsume. Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty. Huzzah!
Yay!
Fireworks! Who lets fireworks in here? So unsafe. Court is adjourned. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber, 23rd February, 3:24 p.m. Oh, yes, and yes, at last. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice. My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. Leave his mustache alone. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache. I love their rivalry so much.
Some say that a luxuriant mustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Shones.
A locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Once again, you've saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. You're second in almost as many days. I was first acquainted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland empire. And then, by a twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only, the city of bricks and mortar became my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and lived through friendly old books.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
But a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did, and I've seen more of life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Yes, I think you're right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've worked out why I was attracted to English literature in the first place. It made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. Aww. I've made a decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What?
Just when we become friends here in England. What a terrible shame.
Oh, I know, that does tug at my heartstrings, it really does. But I've decided I'd like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. Aw, that's nice. A novel of sorts, I suppose.
Oh my! So you'll be creating your own literature, Mr. Natsume? How wonderful.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I wouldn't presume to call it literature. Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache. I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur.
I, for one, would love to read your work.
Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious from a battle with the Reaper. Uh-oh. Ah, that's very true.
And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
Stop scaring him! He's already terrified. He's already the most paranoid thing I've ever seen in my life. The desire to return post-haste to the perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand.
My goodness, yes. Faced with such a terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm quite sure.
But that's not why I'm leaving, I mean it. And that was the case that we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago now. So what was it? What was it about this case that freaked everyone out? Sasuke-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Suzato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well.
Why?
On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is what happened after the trial on the following day. Okay. The day that we uncovered the loot. The loot! Okay, yes. What's in this loot? Hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. I didn't even think about the loot. I actually had forgotten about the loot. 24th February, 10:13 a.m., Mr. Natsume's room. My theory had been at the time that she was escorting Natsume home, but then it was told that they left differently.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you. to uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Gregson?
Iris, hi! Gregsy's been happily munching in agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily, I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth.
So it transpires the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then, if you're ready. Let us examine the late burglar's hall. What is it? What's the loot? What is that?
Huh. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar.
Uh-huh. A collar? It's huge, though.
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed on the inside there? There's some dark stains.
Oh, I didn't even notice the blood. Thank you for pointing that out, Susanoo. I did not see that. I thought it was just weird shadows. You don't think there could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it.
On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt. Then, of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B and a small crown.
Huh. And what does it signify, do you think?
Oh, I hadn't noticed that. I feel as though I've seen that emblem somewhere before, you know. Where could it have been?
It's always terrifying when Sholmes gets serious. And the music cut. Oh, that's enough of that, I think. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the color has strayed from his face. There we go. They're definitely not gonna tell us in this episode. Damn it, I was so excited. Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this, aren't you? It could be valuable evidence, after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Oh, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot. Hand it over, now. I've never seen a collar that large before. And all those jewels could certainly look to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Could they really have been blood?
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
And you look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the basis of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's been so fascinating.
You're talking about the latest installment of The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, I presume?
The mystery of the knife in the midst, and the mustached man in the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait!
A word, please, Iris. Yeah, this is where he tells her not to publish it.
Yes, what is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of your two titles. The second must never be written. Oh. Is that clear? What is up with this convict story?
Yes.
And so it was
Oh.
that the second of Soseki-san's cases became buried in obscurity.
Narration.
Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen. For it wasn't until 2 months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again, with an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh man, so much teasing. I thought we would have had more solved. That's all right. Oh, I'm just so excited to play more. Man. The return of the great departed soul. Oh, let's watch the intro. Let's watch the intro because I'm very excited.
The grand end of the century Great Exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park. Welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case. And like the centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Well, with that... Oops. Oops, that's not my outro. That's my outro music. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the stream today. I'll be back again tomorrow where we're gonna actually properly start episode 3 of Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. Oh man. Bye, thank you. It's been so much fun. I'm very excited. I can't believe how much they teased me with how that chapter ended. Let me find someone to raid. Who's live, who's doing stuff. We could raid. We can raid you. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been fun. I will be back again tomorrow for another stream where we'll start off episode 3 and hopefully solve more. Take care now. Bye bye.